unity, contrasting beautiful Namibia, Namibia, our country, beloved land of savannas, hold I the banner of liberty. Namibia, our country, Namibia, motherland, we love thee. Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. Oh, sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life.
Thank you very much. Can we be seated while I invite Honorable Robert Katura to give us the opening prayer?
A very good afternoon to all of us present here. I would like to start this afternoon with some of the verses taken from the book of Mark, which reads as follows. So Jesus called them over to him. He began to speak to them using stories. He said, how can Satan drive on Satan? If a kingdom fights against itself, it can't stand. If a family is divided, it can't stand. And if Satan fights against himself and his helpers are divided, he can't stand. In fact, that will cost the end. What I am about to tell you is true. Everyone sins and evil words against the God will never be forgiven. But whatever the evil spirit, Lord will forgive them all. Let's pray. Thank you, the Almighty Lord, a merciful Lord you are. Unwavering God you are. Our protector, Jesus you gave to us to be our Savior and our Redeemer. You have protected the traveling and the journey of our guest of honor. You saved them to reach this place. Bless them further. Bless everyone. Bless the engagement. We then humbly request you to send the Holy Spirit to lead and guide us into this ingathering. Dear Lord, bless the Republic of Namibia. Bless those who fought for this country to be free. Bless all the guests of honors. Bless the speakers. Bless the audience. Through the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, I prayed. Amen.
Thank you very much, Honorable Robert Maina Katura. Your Excellency, Lieutenant General Retired Epaphras Denga Ndaitwa, Namibia, Honorable Dr. Emma Kantema, the Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare in our Republic, Honorable Verna Sinimbo, the Governor of the Kavango West Region, Honorable Philippus Tenga, the Chairperson of the Kavango West Regional Council, and as well as the Councillor responsible for Nkurenkuru constituency, the constituency in which we find ourselves today. His Worship Andreas Katanga, the Mayor of our only local authority within the Kavango West region, members of Parliament, to single out Honorable Emma Veiko, who is also a councillor for Musese constituency, and any other member of Parliament present this afternoon here, members of our Regional Council Management Committee, Honorable Titus Kanjimi Shudifonya, who is also a councillor of Mpungu constituency, and Honorable Augustinus Linyando Kupembona, who is also a councillor for Kapako constituency. Let me also recognize the presence of Her Worship, the Deputy Mayor of Nkurenkuru Town Council, Honorable Makena, and she's also the Regional Secretary of the Swapo Party Youth League within the Kavango West region. I would like to recognize the presence of Honorable Michael Naiteta, who is the Honorable Councillor of Nguni constituency, and I would like also to recognize the presence of Honorable Thomas Kavau Rengi, who is a honorable member responsible for Ngamagoro constituency. I would like to recognize the presence of Honorable Sepuka, who is a member of our Kurenkuru local authority, taking into cognition that I have already recognized the presence of Honorable Maina Katura, who is the chairperson of the management committee of Nkurenkuru Town Council, and of course all our local and regional councillors present here. Let me then also recognize the presence of the interim Chief Executive Officer of Nkurenkuru Town Council, represented by Mr. Sihova, seated in this venue with us today. I would like to recognize the presence of Deputy Commissioner Abner Achas, who is also the acting regional commander of our Namibian police force within the Kavango West region, present with us this afternoon. I would like to recognize also the presence of the rest of the deputy commissioners from Nampol, Johannes Kudumo, Abraham Deutapo, and Chief Inspector Michael Matengu. I would want also to recognize the presence of the representatives of the Ukwangali Traditional Authority and Mbunda Traditional Authority, as well as the Sambu Traditional Authority. I would want also to recognize the presence of Comrade Elena Diparo, who is the SWAPO Party Regional Coordinator in the Kavango West region. And I would want also to recognize the presence of Comrade Ihemba Olavi Aludilu, who is the chairperson of the former Plan Combatant Association, and of course, all members of the former Plan Combatant, and those who the prayer we had this afternoon. I would like to recognize the presence of the directors, the various directors present here. Mr. Pontianus Musore, Mr. Egidius Nambara. Mr. Pontianus Musore is our director responsible for education, innovation, youth, sports, arts, and culture. We also have Mr. Egidius Nambara, who is the director responsible for our Directorate of Development Planning, Monitoring, and Evaluation. And I see the acting directors or representing director, Veronica Mutula, who's representing the Director of Health and Social Services. And of course, I see the campus director of our International University of Management, IUM Kurenkuru campus, Dr. Ocean Ngitanwa, present this afternoon. And of course, all senior government officials, all representatives of various state-owned enterprises, and all business and men and women, all industries. I see the colleagues, the learners, and students, both boys and girls, the men and women from various entities. This event is for you all. You are in the right place. The colleagues from the media, you are also recognized for the wonderful work that you do to spread the information and the messages to all those that are following these events. And I would like to sincerely appreciate each and every one of us present in this venue. Even if I did not mention you by your rank or title or name, please kindly forgive me and feel that you are part of the salutation because you are part of us. We need to appreciate your presence. Your Excellency, with your permission, allow me to quickly run through this program in brief to indicate how the sequence of activities for this afternoon are going to look like. We will receive the welcoming remarks that is entrusted to be delivered by His Worship, Andreas Katanga, the Mayor of Nkurenkuru Town. We will have remarks from the Directorate of Education, Innovation, Youth, Sports, Arts, and Culture to be delivered by Mr. Pontianus Musore, who is the Regional Director of Education. We will have the learners from Kanjimi Murangi. Can I just quickly see the hands from the learners from Kanjimi Murangi, just to give yourself an appreciation that you are indeed here. Just let's clap for them. Thank you very much. The Kanjimi Murangi Secondary School Choir will give us a performance. Then we'll have remarks by the Governor of Kavango West Region, that is Honorable Verna Sinimbo. And then we'll have entertainment from Kurenkuru Combined School. Kurenkuru Combined School, also like we have done with Kanjimi. Can I see your hands? Your Excellency, those are the learners from Kurenkuru Combined School. It's just here in town. Kanjimi Murangi is almost 15 kilos as if you are driving towards the Rundu direction. Can we also give them a deserving round of applause? Then, of course, we'll then have remarks by the guest speaker and introduction of the keynote speaker. This will be done by our only Honorable Dr. Emma Kantema. She is the Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare. And then we'll have the keynote address to be delivered by the only First Gentleman, the only one we have in the Republic, His Excellency General Retired Epa France Denga Ndaitwa, the First Gentleman of the Republic of Namibia. Then we'll have your questions, if you have any questions, and you will also receive answers from those questions. Then finally, we'll have the vote of thanks that will be given or is entrusted in the hands of none other than the chairperson of the Kavango West Regional Council, Honorable Philippus Tenga. And then we'll close with the prayer, then the African and the Namibian national anthems. Maybe when I say national anthem only, we may not, some of us craft, but what we mean is the Namibian national anthem. In brief, that is how our program looks like. With your permission, Your Excellency, allow me now, with humility and dignity, to invite His Worship the Mayor of Nkurenkuru Town to give us the welcoming remark. Can we give him the courage to come here?
Thank you, Director of Proceeding, Mr. Matthew Singambwe, our CRO for Kavango West Region, Lieutenant General, His Excellent Lieutenant General, Epaphras Denga Ndaitwa, the First Gentleman of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Dr. Emma Kantema, our Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, Honorable Werner Sinimbo, Governor of the Kavango region, the Kavango West region, Honorable Philip Stenger, Chairperson of the Kavango West Regional Council, both local and regional councillors who are present here, our Director of Education. With your permission, allow me to stand by the protocol which was well established by our Director of Proceeding. A very good afternoon. On behalf of Nkurenkuru Town Council and the people of Nkurenkuru, it's my distinct honor and pleasure to warmly welcome you all to our town for this important boy-child engagement session. We are particularly privileged to welcome the First Gentleman of the Republic of Namibia and our guest of honor, Honorable Dr. Emma Kantema, Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare. Your presence here today is a clear demonstration of your commitment to the empowerment, mentorship, and development of the young boys who represent the future of our nation. This gathering is both timely and significant. Across our community, we are called upon to nurture young men who are responsible, disciplined, respectful, and equipped to contribute positively to society. Today provides an opportunity for our boys to be inspired, guided, and encouraged to pursue their dreams with confidence and determination.
To our young boys gathered here, I urge you to listen attentively and embrace the wisdom that will be shared. Believe in yourself, work hard, respect others, and reframe focus on your goals. The future of Namibia depends on young people who possess strong values, integrity, and a sense of purpose. As leaders, parents, educators, and community members, let us continue to work together to create an environment where every boy can thrive, realize his full potential, and become responsible citizen as a leader of tomorrow. With these few remarks, I once again extend a warmly and heartfelt welcome to our distinguished guests and all participants. May this engagement be an impactful, inspiring, and beneficial to every person present here today. With those few remarks, Right Honorable, Right General Denga Nditwa, Dr. Emma, our Minister, and our Honorable Governor, I thank you.
Yes, let's give him a very good round of applause. His Worship Andreas Katanga, the Mayor of our beautiful and only local authority in Kurenkuru town. Your Excellency, we are all now through you. We've been welcomed in this venue and particularly in this town. I can then happily say to the audience of honor that we are gathered here today to engage or to be engaged by His Excellency, the First Gentleman of the Republic of Namibia. And on our program, we see Kavango West Region Boy-Child Engagement Session. And that session is the one we are having here in the Kavango West Regional Council Multi-Purpose Hall, constructed by the capable government of the Republic of Namibia. Without fear of any contradiction, is one of the best of its kind in this republic. We really appreciate our national leadership. I would want us, this program is a very interesting program. We must not be sad, we must not be tired. We must really be focused. We must listen so that when time for questions come, we should ask the right questions. But no question is not right. But I want us to be free. When we see the men and women in uniform, they are not here that we have done something wrong. They are just here to ensure we are in good order, we are in good hands. Learners, we must not fear them. They are part of our community. And all of us seated here, we are part of you. You must not fear. Open up when that time comes. And please follow this program very well as requested by His Worship. I am, as indicated on the program, my names are Matthew Kamonga Singambwe, and I am the Chief Regional Officer for the Kavango West Regional Council. Just for the sake of putting it on record, I took it for granted that you all have the program. So allow me now to invite Mr. Pontianus Musore to kindly give his remark. Can we give him also those encouragement?
Thank you so much. The director of this program, Mr. Mateus K. Singambwe, the Chief Regional Officer of the Kavango West Region, Your Excellency, Lieutenant General, retired, Epaphras Denga Ndaitwa, the First Gentleman of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Dr. Emma Kantema, Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, Honorable Verna Sinimbo, Regional Governor for the Kavango West Region, in the interest of our time, let me respect the protocol as it was well laid out by the director of this very important engagement. Your Excellency, the Kavango West region consists of 188 schools. These schools accommodate a total of 55,002 learners. Now, from this number, 27,957, which makes up 50.8%, are boys. And the remaining, which is 27,045, making 49.2%, are girls. Now, the majority of our schools are found in rural and remote areas. I think that is the fact that we all know. Our schools are faced with many, many challenges. Some of these challenges are shortage of classrooms, laboratories, lack of hostel facilities, which results into many of our learners walking long distances to and from schools. In some schools, we are also challenged by lack of ablution facilities, etc., etc. Director of the program, despite these challenges, this region remains one of the best performing regions in our country. To be specific, the Kavango West region has been the leading region in terms of performance at the Namibia Senior Secondary Certificate Advanced Subsidiary, which is known as grade 12. We have been in the position number 1 from 2023. We retained it in 2024, and we are currently the leading region based on 2025 result. And we can assure you that we will try to remain there come the end of this year. Now, in terms of the Namibia Senior Secondary Certificate Ordinary Level, known as grade 11, we have been moving, starting from position number 7 in 2022, moved to position number 5 in 2023, and then moved to position number 2 in 2024, and then moved to position number 3 in 2025. We moved a little bit down with one position. Our percentage did not reduce, it increased, but the region that was behind us increased with more percentages than ours. But we are still doing well, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you so much to our dedicated staff members, particularly our school principals, teachers, learners, and parents who are supporting us in this endeavor. Director of the ceremony, I'm glad to report further that over the last 2 years, our boy child have outperformed the girl child, though with a slight difference. If you look at it, our performance is almost within the same range. The difference is just 1%. Boys are performing more with 1% more than the girls at a grade 12 level. So our statistic contradicts the current literature, whereby the girls countrywide are performing more than the boys. So Kavango West, we changed that statistic the other way around. However, the situation when it comes to the issue of school dropout is slightly different. Again, the difference is not that big, but the girls, the boys are dropping more than the girls with that minor changes. Let me get to the statistic. In 2025, we recorded a total of 1,371 learners who dropped out of school. In this number, the boy child accounts for 746, whereas 625 learners who dropped out were girls. During the first term of this year, 2026, a total of 650 learners dropped out. Now, from this number, again, the boys are a bit more compared to girls, though they are within the same range. The boys account for 342, whereas our girls makes the total of 308. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, the main cause of school dropout in our region, for learners in general and for the boy child in particular, are as follows in terms of our assessments as the directorate. Number one reason is poverty and economic hardship among our families. Many, as a result of this factor, many of our boys leave school to engage in temporary work. For example, cattle herding, fishing, some of them, if you drive on our road, you find them selling fish. Also other farming activities that supports themselves and their families. The second factor contributing to this challenge is poor parental involvement in some of the communities. For example, limited supervision and support from parents and guardians reduce the boys' motivation to remain in school. Some parents still prioritize household responsibilities for boys over school attendance. The third factor from our assessment is child-headed households. Some boys live without adequate adult care or support. As a result, some of the boys become the caregivers or caretakers of their younger siblings. Now, this prevents them from attending school on a regular basis. For example, you go, like I've indicated, one of our challenges is lack of hostels for our primary schools in the inland in particular. So these kids are brought down to schools that offer grades which are not there. And some parents make temporary shelter for them, but there's no parent to supervise them in these shelters. Long distance from home to school is another factor affecting our children, including the boys. They travel long distances on foot, resulting in fatigue, late arrival home from school, as a result, absenteeism, and eventually dropout. This challenge is more severe in remote and rural areas where there are no hostels. Another factor, especially for boys that are at junior and senior secondary level, is behavior and discipline problem. Persistent absenteeism, indiscipline among some of our learners alcohol and substance abuse. The other day, I was engaging with my colleague, the director for IUM is also experiencing the same challenge. Many of our boys or learners, they engage themselves in alcohol and other activities. So results into dropout at the end of the day. We have also noted one of the factors, which is the last one on my list, physical and emotional abuse in some families. Some boys experience abuse, also girls, or neglect at home, affecting their emotional well-being and school participation. If you go into many schools, more girls participate in school activities than boys. What are we doing about these challenges as the directorate and our stakeholders? We are committed to strengthening school-based motivation, counseling, and psychological support to our learners. We are also committed to expand our mentorship and boy-child empowerment program to many of our schools and communities. In the same line, we are also striving to improve parental engagement through regular parent education meetings. We are ensuring timely delivery for school feeding program in order to retain some of our learners in schools. If you go into our schools, when there is food in school, attendance increases when learners are fed in schools. Provide academic support to struggling boys through our life skill teachers, and strengthening early warning systems to identify boys who are at risk. We are also collaborating with our traditional leaders in our communities, churches, and community organizations to promote the value of boy education. And finally, we are also trying to increase our career guidance and life skill education to improve boys' motivation and their aspiration for the future. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, improving performance of the boys' child in Kavango West region, and I believe across our country, and also to retain them in schools requires a collaborative and sustained commitment from our schools, parents, community in general, our traditional leaders, government institutions who are our partners, and our development partners as well. Through engagement such as this one that we are having here today, we will empower our boys to realize their full potential. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I thank you so much for your kind attention.
Let's still give him that courage. Thank you very much, Mr. Amsore. Your Excellency, as we continue with our program, may I kindly request the Kanjimi Murangi Secondary School Choir to give us that item. While they are coming, I would want to announce just light amendment on our program. The Nkurenkuru Combined School Choir, that entertainment will get it after the keynote address. And I want you to be ready immediately after that speaker. We don't waste any single minute, we get on the floor. The floor is yours, Kanjimi Murangi. Give them a round of applause, please.
importance of education. Oh, let us let us sing together. Oh, let us sing together. Let us show them the importance of education. Let us show them the importance of education. keep on in the night. Keep believing, keep dreaming, always aim high. You are kind and pray. Never doubt yourself. Your dreams are special. They are worth chasing. Stop chasing attention and chase your skills.
Let's give them a round of applause. Let's give them a round of applause.
We are proud of Namibian leaders. Namibia,
Productive one. We are proud of Namibian leaders.
oh Namibia,
Productive one.
Another round of applause. Another round of applause. Well done, Kanjimi Murange.
productive one. We are proud of Namibian leaders. Namibia, oh Namibia,
Let's appreciate them. Let us do that. They are very good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Kanjimi Murangi Secondary School, for the wonderful work. But I know you are in good hands. Appreciate also your principal for the good leadership. Can we then move on with our program? I see we are slightly behind our schedule so that we see how we catch up. Can, with humility, Your Excellency, permit me to give the floor to our Honorable Governor to come to the podium. Honorable Governor, let us appreciate as he comes.
Never doubt yourself. Director of Ceremonies, Mr. Matthew Singambwe, our Chief Regional Officer of Kavango West Regional Council. Your Excellency, Lieutenant General Epaphras Denga Ndaitwa, First Gentleman of the Republic of Namibia. Honorable Dr. Emma Kantema, Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare. With all due respect, allow me to continue with my statement because protocol was already well established. A very good afternoon. Stengukoseni Sosiwa. On behalf of the regional leadership and the people of Kavango West region, I warmly welcome you all to this important boy-child engagement session. We are particularly honored to welcome His Excellency Lieutenant General Epaphras Denga Ndaitwa, our first gentleman of the Republic of Namibia, Tunkurenkuru, who took his time, who saw it fit, who said, let me go this time and pay attention to my children, grandchildren in Kavango West region. We are so much delighted, Excellency, to have you here with us this afternoon. Tuasa kerere nipo. Equally, let me take also this moment to appreciate Honorable Dr. Emma Kantema, who also had to leave her very busy office to come and honor our invitation to come and join the first gentleman to be with us here today in Kavango West region. We value your presence, Doctor. Thank you. Your Excellency, we sincerely appreciate you for spearheading this national initiative and for making time to engage directly with the boys of Kavango West Region. Your presence demonstrates your commitment to the development of our young people and confirms that their future remains an important national priority. We do not take your visit of our region for granted. To the boys gathered here today, this program has been organized specifically for you. I therefore encourage you to recognize the value of this opportunity and give the proceedings your full attention. Listen carefully and respectfully. Keep an open mind and ask questions when you are given the opportunity. Something shared today may help you view your future differently, reconsider a decision, or become more focused on the person you want to become. Your presence of the presence of the first gentleman and the leadership gathered here should remind you that there are people who believe in your potential and want to see you succeed. However, you must also be willing to play your part by listening, learning, and making responsible use of the opportunity available to you. To the parents here, teachers, counselors, and other leaders present, our responsibility does not end with this program or when this program concludes. The boys gathered here will continue to need encouragement, guidance, and positive support when they return to their homes, schools, and communities. We must therefore reinforce the value of this engagement through our conduct and continued involvement in their lives. Your Excellency, the Kavango West Regional Leadership welcome and support this noble initiative. We remain ready to cooperate with your office and other relevant stakeholders in advancing programs that invest in the future of our young people. We are mindful that the central message of this occasion belongs to you. We will therefore not attempt to anticipate or dilute the substance of the address you have prepared for the boys, Your Excellency. Once again, thank you, Your Excellency, for bringing this initiative to Kavango West and for investing your time, experience, and leadership in our boys. To every boy in this hall, reflect honestly and make this opportunity count. Leave here with something useful that will positively influence your decision and direction going forward. We welcome you, Your Excellency, and we look forward to fruitful deliberation. With those remarks, I thank you very much.
Let's again give the Honorable Governor a deserving round of applause for the wonderful remarks. Of course, Your Excellency, as a program director, I could have wished we could alter this venue because the crowd and some of the boy child are outside, but our venue is just small. You can see we have just placed some extra chairs outside, but our venue is just slightly smaller. But I hope with Tate Simon here and the team, with the ICT equipment, they will be able to hear the message although they are outside. With that, colleagues that are outside, you are part of us. Please don't feel left out. I would want at this moment, with your permission, Your Excellency, to follow as per our program to kindly request with humble and kindness our Honorable Dr. Emma Kantema, the Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, to come to the podium and perform the official responsibility entrusted to her. Let us give her a round of applause.
Thank you very much, the CRO, who's the program director. It feels quite high here. I thought I was tall. Your Excellency, Lieutenant General retired Epaphras Denga Ndaitwa, our first gentleman of the Republic of Namibia, as well as our distinguished speaker for today, Honorable Verna, the Regional Governor for Kavango West, Verna Sinimbo, Regional Governor for Kavango West, and our host, thank you very much for hosting us on this Friday afternoon, Honorable Tenga Philippus, the Chairperson of the Kavango West Regional Council. Your Excellency, I'm speaking after my big sister. So where I come from, I was born in Rupara, not so far from here, Kavango West. You always follow what your elders are doing, so I'm going to stand by the protocol because that's what she said. So allow me to please observe the protocol is already established by the program director, and to say, I greet you, good afternoon, Morokeni, Metaha, Wamati, Wanasure, Noakadona, Metazeni, Namegweni, Metazeni. Yeah, you must see me as your own. I was once also wearing a school uniform, once a girl from Kavango region, and today I stand here as your minister responsible for gender equality and child welfare. At the onset, Honorable Governor, Your Excellency, thank you very much for the opportunity to join this very important engagement. It's both an honor and a privilege to join you as we engage the boys and the girls of Kavango West region at this very important gathering, which is held under the theme, Empowering the Boy Child, Inspiring Men, Creating a Brighter, Responsible Future for All. This theme is timely and it's deeply important. It reminds us that when we invest in the boy child, we are investing in stronger families, safer communities, and a brighter future for our nation. There's sometimes a perception that the boy child is left behind or is lagging behind. I'm sure you'll all agree with me. But today, the gathering that we are here for helps us to challenge and also to correct that narrative. It shows clearly that development, protection, and empowerment of boys is not being ignored at all. On the contrary, it is receiving attention. And deliberately, as government, as a ministry that's entrusted with that responsibility to promote and to protect the child welfare, we have strategies in place to ensure that the boy child is not left behind. And as a country, we recognize that boys matter, their voices matter, their well-being matter, as well as their future. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, which I head, firmly believes that achieving gender equality and ending gender-based violence is not a responsibility of one entity. Therefore, I would like us to give a round of applause to our governor for coming up and organizing this initiative today. Thank you. We believe that men and boys must be active partners, they must advocate and be agents of change. This is one of the guiding principles that we have in our national gender equality and equity policy. For this reason, ladies and gentlemen, the ministry continues to implement male engagement initiatives aimed at challenging harmful gender norms and promoting positive masculinity. Your Excellency, I'm very happy. I think I'm one of those people who will sleep well tonight because I see that the hall is also filled with parents, mostly fathers. because they are the ones that we want to focus. They are our partners when it comes to fighting GBV issues, when it comes to fighting violence against children. These efforts are not merely commitments on paper, they are visible in action, and this is what we are witnessing today. Since 2022, the ministry has convened 5 national men's conferences on positive masculinity. We held the first one in Ongwediva. We had a men's conference in Keetmanshoop, Ondangwa, in Rundu, and last year we had one in Katima-Mulilo. These conferences were held in collaboration with our key stakeholders, including Ministry of ICT, Ministry of Health and Social Services, Ministry of Justice and Labor Relations, as well as Women's Action for Development and other civil society. And more than 500 men from different sectors of society came together, including members of parliament, regional and local authority councillors, traditional leaders, faith-based organizations, and men in uniform, and youth representatives. The ministry has also intensified our sensitization efforts across the country, and behind these numbers are lives that were touched, attitudes that were shaped, and futures that were strengthened. The ministry also hosted boys' empowerment initiatives, to mention a few, in Windhoek. That sessions that we hosted in Windhoek aimed at affirming the worth of a boy child and creating a supportive environment where boys could speak openly, challenge stereotypes, and embrace their full potential. This is exactly the kind of engagement that we must continue to expand across all regions. And at this point, I want to pause and to appreciate the efforts that our first gentleman is making towards ensuring that we continue with the conversation of the boy child and that we empower the boys. I think he deserves a big round of applause. Another important area of focus, I'll be very brief, is fatherhood and family strengthening. I'm mentioning this because I was listening very carefully to the Director of Education when he was narrating what are the causes of school dropouts. One is the issue of parenting. Now, Your Excellency, our ministry, together with the Ministry of Health and Social Services, in March, we launched a parental care handbook. And we have started rolling out this handbook. It contains around 8 modules on positive parenting. And we are also engaging with the traditional community leaders to ensure that right at the grassroots level, this information is communicated. The parents are empowered because they are very, very key stakeholders when it comes to ensuring that our children are protected, their rights are upheld, and they are empowered. Your Excellency, therefore, this gathering for us as the ministry is pleasing because it contributes to our initiatives. As Frederick Douglass once said, and I quote, "It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men," end of quote. They are about building strong boys today so that Namibia can have men, responsible men tomorrow. As we move forward, ladies and gentlemen, we must continue to strengthen our interventions towards empowering the boy child, inspiring men, and to create a brighter future for all. I now turn to my second assignment. It's my singular honor and a privilege to introduce our keynote speaker for today, His Excellency, Lieutenant General Retired Epaphras Denga Ndaitwa, our first gentleman of the Republic of Namibia. To the boys and girls who are here, is that not an honor for us to have in our midst a very distinct personality who selflessly dedicated his life and service to Namibia? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, parents, tulirikideni nokusakerera ipo tupe mpito mkuru na kwetu. Thank you.
Don't go away for a moment. Okay, please get seated.
I've given a floor by a very important person in my view, who is in this case the Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare. I want us to underline that gender equality, not women equality, it's gender equality, of which all of us, as we are sitting here, we are part of that something called gender. And child welfare, not girls or girl welfare, is child. And the reference here is to the Namibian people in terms of gender. It's a Namibian child. That means she's responsible for all of us. Because some ministries, they might be responsible for a certain sector only. And that ministry might not bother with what is happening here and there. Her responsibility is very big than many of the ministries, because it's a national one. Even though all other ministries are national, but I consider this as national one. So thank you very much for the floor. Yeah. Director of Proceedings, Honorable Governor of this region, might be while I'm also referring to the Honorable Governor, is almost equal to Minister Kadema, because Honorable Governor, he's responsible again for for everybody in this region. Everybody in this region. Men and women, children, boys and girls. Very important. She's not for a certain segment of the region, but she's overall responsible for the entire region. Honorable Governor, take up the challenge. Honorable Minister, thanks for the floor. Don't want to say much again, I already said that. Leaders in this region, our children, boys and girls, all of us under this roof, I recognize you. When the Director of Education was speaking, he said much of what I was going to say. But maybe I will, at whatever time, I will reflect what he has just said. I had a written statement, but don't be wondering if I will let it be in this folder and say what I wanted to say. But before I start, I want to first to make some members of this audience to stand for the reasons that I will explain later. I want all leaders, including our minister, our governor, I want you to stand, please. And the rest of the leaders, I'm not talking about any position, but as long as you are in that category. In the category of being a leader, some of you are doubting about yourselves. Am I a leader? You are leaders. Right. Our children, boys and girls, why I made these leaders to stand is for you to understand that they are standing in your position today. Because they will not be there for life. And there will be no time when in this region that we will have no governor. There will be no time that we will have no councillors. They are just serving their term. And after they are done, they will have to go on retirements. Or they will move to some other positions. But these leaders, our children, they were not leaders, they were not born leaders. They were not born leaders to stand here today as leaders. They came, it was a process. It was a process. The minister here, she was not born to be a minister. She was just born as one of those children of Kantema family. And she grew and grew and grew until she became what she is today. The governor here was not born to be a governor. She was just born like you. And she grew and she grew. On the part of the governor, by standing here today, she is standing because she has been appointed by the president of this country and say, I have a trust on you, lead that region. You must stand ready as our children one day to have whatever president at whatever time, to have that confidence in you and say, learner of that time today, I will appoint you as a governor of Kavango West. But I must tell you, it's not a thumb sucking of appointment. It has the considerations. How many other politicians? How many some from this region? How many other politicians from this country? And she was picked from so many to be the governor of this country. I mean, of this region. She was the minister, was picked among others. Maybe the president was having a problem who to take. And they finally say, Emma Kantema, you must be the minister of gender equality and the child welfare. She came from a group of many. Please get seated. Sorry to make you stand there, minister and the all leaders. I know under this roof, we have so many ex-combatants of plan. Please, comrades, can you stand? And they come ahead and face the audience. Ileni komeshok, tantalele kui. Yeah. Okay. Talele niko shwana kui. I have made these ex-combatants to stand facing you. Some of you might have even a problem to understand what is ex-combatants of Pulani particularly. Let me explain a little bit. These people who are seeing in front of you, some of them have been living with you for that long without having an idea who is this one, who is the... I must explain briefly now. These ex-combatants of plan, maybe first I must start by saying, please, they deserve a respect from all of us. These people made their higher sacrifice during their youthful time. These people, I don't want to ask them, but I must tell that they never knew about that, their youth time. There was nothing like, I'm young, I'm a youth. They have been ex-combatants since they were very young. And it was for a genuine cause. It was for a noble cause. That noble cause was to liberate this country. They fought until this country was liberated. You might see them some poor, and you say, so what? Ex-combatants, so what? But they have done their part. And they have done their part for us to be what we are today. They made huge sacrifice, men and women. I earlier said, let us give them a respect. The respect you will give them, it will give them a relief. It will give them kind of a relief and say, yes, I'm within the community that they understand that I made my contribution. And why I'm making that contribution, when we took up arms, we took arms to fight against the enemy which was colonizing this country. We took our arms not to stand here today. They are standing here today by lucky. Because in the situation where we have gone through in the situation of do or die. When you are a soldier, there are only two things. You kill and you get killed. They survived by the grace of God. They survived by the grace of God. I want also to join them without prizing myself, but it's because I'm just part of that, one of the ex-combatants, as I'm standing here. And I fully understand what I'm talking about. When I left this country in 1974, I was just a boy of 21. Just a boy of 21 when I left this country. And it was for the same cause. I spent much of my time like them with the gun on hand, waiting to be killed. Maybe why I'm here today, maybe God said, no, then I will survive to be able to speak on the 7th of August in Kavango West, Kurenkuru. Sometimes when I look at the ex-combatants, I'm looking at people who are dead because they were there to die. They were there to die. I wonder how did they survive for them to be here today. Comrades, please take up your seats. Why I'm saying all this? I want to make our youngsters understand. I want to make our youngsters to understand. This country was under colonialism by the minority apartheid of South Africa, whites. During that period of colonialism, you have few whites who are colonizing us, and they made use of whatever under their power to make sure that as blacks, we must understand the language of colonialism, of minority whites. Until some of us, we said, enough is enough. Let us cross the border. Let us go and get whatever is possible to fight this minority regime. We did that. We did that to the extent that some of us, even the ex-combatants who were standing here, possibly the only language they know is the local language. English, zero. Why zero? It's because they never had the time to go to school. When the majority of us, when we cross the border into exile, the most wider open door was for us to go for military training. And we don't regret for that. It was our calling. The broken English I'm speaking now, it's a broken English because when we came back, without even a grade 10, I asked myself, because I was in Ongwediva at that time, when I left, I asked myself, am I a failure? Why didn't you reach somewhere? And they said, no, I was not a failure. It was the environment that was not conducive for me to study. Then I said, I was talking to myself, if we were not a failure, why don't you try again? Then I said to myself, let me try again. I started right away with grade 12, grade 10. By that time, I was one of those already officers in charge for this and that units within the NDF. I managed it. I said, let me try again. There comes grade 12. I did it. Some other, until today, as I'm standing here, I must be proud to myself that I'm proud as a graduate of master's degrees in strategic studies. I don't want to talk about myself, but I want to tell our youngsters that you have a moment to study. We missed a study at your age. When I got my master's, I was already 55. Don't wait until you are 55 while you are doing nothing. Start now. You have a moment. Might be further. Maybe when the governor one day will say, I must come again. I want still to add something. I want to be referred to like Emma, a doctor. And I already registered myself. Of course, study doesn't end, but I didn't want to become a doctor at the age of over 70. I wanted to become a doctor earlier, like she is. Still, the message is to our children. You have a moment to concentrate and study. The statistic given here by the director, I, for one, I'm not happy. things are contradicting each other. The region is doing so well, but the region has a dropout like nothing else. That means those who are proceeding, they are doing it well, and those who are dropping, they are dropping and shattered without being, we might no longer be able to put them together, maybe for some other reasons. Why don't we, while the region is doing it so well, why don't we make it part of those who are doing it well? Why drop out? Director, thanks for the information. But honestly, I'm disappointed of the dropout. This year alone, before the end of, we don't know what will happen at the end of the year. This year alone. I don't want to go to the figures. Those of you who didn't get it well, please go to him so that you say, oh, apparently, before the end of the year, this is where we stand. If the dropout will continue, where will we end? Our children, this country is liberated, is free, is independent. These people made it happen. What's that you are paying back? They needed something to pay back. And by paying it back, in your case, is by studying hard and making things a reality. That's the payment possible that we need to say our children are doing so well at all levels. The group which came to perform here, they said education is key. Education is key. Some other people say education is the greatest equalizer. Education is key. Today we are living in the world of the high tech, the high technology, advanced technology. And this technology is made possible by people who have gone to school and understand exactly what is required of their nations. As a key, Emma here, the minister, she just graduated, she just became a doctor not years ago. And then she became a minister while she became a doctor while she was already a minister. She could have said, in any case, I'm already a minister. But because she realized education is key, is the greatest equalizer, she continues to read. Honestly, she could have said, I'm already a minister. What else do I need? She said, no, I will continue. Education is key. And I want my children to mean it. Mean that education is key. Let me also inform our youngsters, and of course all of us, that this government made a decision. I would to guess that the minister Kantema was part of that. They made the decision to say our education, particularly as you go to the tertiary level, the universities, private and public, the government has taken a decision that the government will subsidize. They will subsidize the tuition fee and the registration fee. Because tuition fee and registration, it was one of the impediments by our parents, as they cannot afford this and that. Now, part of that has now been taken by your responsible government. Tertiary and those of you who have gone to university this year, they have started enjoying that fruits. Those of you who are in grade 12 today and the next year you will go for universities, you will be covered in terms of tuition fee and registration fee. Why don't you make use of that chance given to you by your government? It never happened for the last 35 years. Why happening now? Why don't you say you are lucky enough? You came at the right time. Why must you allow yourself to drop out and not making use of this opportunity for you to excel? Why don't you say, I was part of the second bunch to go to university being or having that part covered by your government? My children, be serious with education. Let me give you one example. Early 60s, which is, I would say, 66 years ago now. Some human being, some governments were able, because of the study, they were able to land on the moon. On the moon. Neil Armstrong from America, he was the first human being to land his foot on the moon. What an achievement it was 66 years ago. Where do we stand today? We cannot even put together a bicycle. Not even a bicycle. It just even to stand there at the bicycle and say, okay, I'll take this and this and this, and I'll put together, and I will start cycling. Going to the moon, number one, there must be engineers who must be able to understand the upper sky, how to send something up there and even bring it back. You cannot just come around and say, okay, you, okay, go up to the moon. How? How? I might love you, I might like you, but even if I love you and I like you and say, I want you to go to the sky, up there, you will never make it. If you are in charge to control, to send that machine up there, you might not be able to bring it back. Those people will get lost up in the sky. The only possibility is to study, and study, and study. It's very unfortunate, they drop out. Can you send a dropout to the moon? Maybe the dropout, you just send them to Kahenge here. Send them to Kahenge. I think Pungu is a distance, they will get lost. Pungu is a distance, they will get lost, even those dropouts. Even if Katutu is a distance, they will get lost. Just send it to Katutu, I mean to Kahenge. That's the only trust you can give it to those dropouts. I'm still saying all this for the sake of our children. For the sake of our children who were born when their country was liberated by these people. I asked it, I said, what is that you are going to pay? You are paying it through education. That will make them happy. One would need to make a research and they see what should be the problems with our society might be. One can pick up discipline just from our families. Discipline from our families. As parents, we are no longer in charge. When I grew up, before I became a soldier outside there, I was under the guidance and sometimes being whipped where I'm not doing well by my parents. Today, we let our children to go loose. Hence, these dropouts. Even if your child can go 2 days without having seen, as long as it's not reported, dead somewhere, I'm used to that. Might be somewhere. Yet you are a parent. You are a parent. And you are saying maybe your child is from where? As I'm going around, I've been visiting many places, including prisons. My experience, when you visit some of the prisons, or most of the prisons, you will find almost every space is taken up by men. By men. You, not me. I'm not included. Taken up by men, every space. This is a prison. You go there, you will find men. I visited one place, I asked, where are women? I was asking the inmates. They were just scratching their heads. I'm asking, where are your women? That simply means we left our women. No, you left your women. Without men. Who is mentoring your children, both boys and girls? No, mothers must do that. Oh, mothers must do that. You were born for what? For prison? Were you men born for prison? Who told you that you were born for prison? Prison, in my understanding, is made for everybody who misbehaved. Why only men who are largely misbehaving? Who is taking care of our families? And that is where things have gone loose. No fathers, no mentorship from men. Maybe the fallout here, even by girls, is attributed because sometimes you men, you are not home to say, where's my daughter? Some will fall pregnant at the early stage because we have failed to say, in my house, in my home, after this time, don't enter. Where's your authority? Where is your authority? Do you want the governor to come and impose the authority in this region for every homestead? That's not a responsibility. The following morning, you are told, or you started smelling this girl. She seemed to be pregnant. Come here. Are you pregnant? Yes, Dad. She's already pregnant. Who is to blame? It's you. It is you, my dear friend. It is you. Because you failed to provide leadership within your family. What if you are given a region? How will you be able to lead? What about if you are given the gender equality? How will you lead it? And the child welfare, while you are failing a small fraction of your wife and the possible one child. And then you are saying, no, some people are being favored. Now she's a governor. Yes, she's a governor. Because President was saying, this one who is filling the house of two people, I cannot give him a region. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm serious on this, that we are failing our society. When I came in this office, I asked myself, what's that I think I can do while in this office? Then I said, why don't I try the boy child? Didn't it just come just like that? I looked at our society, and I realized our young boys, or our boys and young men, something is missing or something is broken, and it needs to be repaired or fixed. It's the task I've given myself. Nobody else who gave me this. It's a task that I tried to say, what's that I can? And now I've been moving around, sometimes on the invitation, sometimes on my own initiative. But as I'm talking about the boy child, I also want this to be understood so well. The boy child is the focus of what I want to deal with. The boy child doesn't mean no girl must come in our group. It's for all of us, because we are a society. This boy child will be a husband to this girl child. Why should I say boys only? It is for all of us. That's why I'm happy, but I know the majority are men. Take the message home. Take the message home. That apparently it is not for boys only or for men only, it's for all of us. Take the message. When I talk about that, like I said, I realized something somewhere is hindering the growth of our boys. I talked about the discipline, the alcohol abuse. Boys are now following their fathers to tombos. You are sharing a glass with your son. I'm a father of both girls and the boys. And the God, they gave me that chance that 3 boys, 3 girls, they are married with each other. But until now, some of them are grown up. In any case, not some of them. They are all grown up now. But I don't even share an alcohol with them. I don't. When I share alcohol, I share alcohol with my peer. Because I still consider them as my children. Get out of here. Get out of here. You want to take our alcohol now. Not to the extreme, not to the extreme, but I don't want to share alcohol with my children. Now I brought together my pair, and one of them will start taking too much and started misbehaving, and say, hey, when we were there, hey, you know, the other one was misbehaving. They must go somewhere. Now, you are sharing with your children. Be it even a boy or girl, you are sharing. Alcohol abuse. Substances abuse. Makanya. Atapopiwa hapo kunaona ve. Makanya. Why? Those drugs are not food. That's why they are called drugs. If they were food, they could be saying it's a banana. Now they are referred to as drugs. They are not food. And don't you collect your food and they bring in those things and you say, no, I brought you this food. Take that out. It's not food. There was a time when Namibia was known as a transit for drugs. But Namibia today became a consumer. Become a consumer now. Maybe we ask it, why all these things they are always passing here, transiting here? Until we say, part of it must stay here. Now we are doing like, this is my own interpretation, we are doing like, you don't know how Chinese can set up something. They can come here, Tenkurengur, and for example, just realizing something is always passing here. They are already making what we call, how do we call this study? Market research or whatever. Until they said, this thing, it might be liked on the other side. It must be something that people like. Now, instead of getting there all the time, you will find the Chinese will put up something for you without even himself understanding what does that mean. It's only to realize that this thing is loved. It's liked somewhere there. That's exactly what happened with us. To us, Namibia was considered as a transit point, but today, Namibia is a consumer of drugs. You can hear now and then bags of whatever, they were confiscated here in Namibia. Some of you might recall, I think early this year, a farmer near, I think in the Jojupa region, a farmer who was considered to be farming on crop production, who thought he was so clever enough. The Mapungus, they were all over here, but they said that there. It was not Mahangu or whatever, it was drugs. When you walk around, you say, hey, this man is really producing, eh? Can't you see Mahangus and the But in there, he has a bigger field than that of Mahangu. It was for drugs. Now today she's facing the music. Today she's facing the music. That tells you he came to realize that this thing is also wanted here in Namibia. Let me produce it. Those are, the list might be long, but those might be some of the things that make us or our youngsters to fail, because they will be committed to what was not supposed for them. But now, because we let them go loose, they are loose. And they are just doing that. Our youngsters, I mentioned about your government made it possible for you to study it from that up. But I must also warn so that you understand. This chance of going for registration covered by the government, tuition fee covered by the government at university level, you must also understand that it's not for those who are lazy. The moment you go there and they fail the first year, the chance will go to the next. You must pick up the pieces of your own failure. You don't go there and you fail and you are sponsored again. Fail and sponsored again. What about those who are coming? These meager resources deliberately put on your disposal. Make use of it. Not only that, a minister here can testify, the government has also put in place some millions to say it is for Youth Development Fund. Of course, there will be conditions how to get a portion from that. It's not because it's for Youth Development Fund that once you go there, you get it. There must be some requirements. But it's an effort by the government. It's an effort by the government that wants to help its young people. After now you have graduated, you might fall into the category of applying and they get you whatever $10 and you start up with something. By so doing, you might not end up being the only one who is to eat that $10. You might bring in one or two others to join you. And that is how employment is created. In Namibia, we have a very serious problem. If you are not employed by the government, you are not employed, even if you are employed. Government creates conducive environment. And then you can be given a fund, come up with something, and employ others. Make a try. Some of you are graduates here without a job. I don't know whether you have tried from this fund or not. I don't want to get into the technical part of it. Otherwise, I might end up messing up because I'm not part of the scheme. But I'm just reminding you that there's something put aside by the government. I think it's something 257. That's a lot of money. Do you think that money that will just collect the dust where locked up somewhere there? It is meant for the business. Just make a try. But hardly you might not try while you are drop out, while you have some graduates. You will smell the dust. And they will hear others collecting it. Make use of the chance when it's available to you. This fund is not for everybody. That's why it speaks its own is Youth Development Fund. Some of you sitting there, you are still part of that being youth. I want just to reflect on something here. Possibly, I will only take a few things from the statement I have. Because much of what I want to say is what I've said. The government, as I'm saying, is trying This is part of education. I'm again extremely happy that I'm joined by the minister here. And her ministry is doing also tremendous work. Sometimes without realizing it. But let me just bring a few elements of what her ministry is doing. Government, and I will reach, government remain committed to implement the boys and the male engagement strategies as contained in the National Gender Equality and Equity Policy adopted by the Cabinet for 2025 to 2035. That's a policy that has been adopted by the government, spearheaded by her ministry. The Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare has intensified sensitized or whatever, I think you will understand what I want to say, effort across the country. During the 2025-2026 financial year, a total of 1,884 men, and the 2,479 boys were sensitized on issues of gender equality, gender-based violence, sexual and reproductive health, HIV and AIDS, trafficking of persons, and alcohol and drug abuse. In the first quarter of 2026-2027 financial year alone, the ministry reached a further 2,541 participants through awareness and the training activities aimed at promoting positive masculinity. Those are the efforts by the young girl from these regions. So on that from there, I say, hey, that young girl, don't say minister. And you must say it now while I'm speaking. Yeah, say what? You are good students. That's why you are haven't fallen out. The reference of a young girl is, I'm looking really at that, at her age and looking at the responsibility and at what she's doing. Honorable Minister, you are doing a wonderful job and you continue doing a wonderful job. There will be a time when these people will understand the message. As I'm getting to the end, I want to make one example of, I've spoken about drug abuse and the blah, blah. Let me tell you that these things of getting out of mind, they can be caused by whatever, and you can do whatever as well. On the 6th of April last year, maybe before I continue, those of you who are 17, is there anybody who is 17 here? Stand up, please. Okay, maybe if you don't know your age, that's it matter. Okay. Well and good. Sit down, my sons. I didn't make them to stand to shame them, but to make one classic example of what is happening in this country. On the 6th of April last year, one boy of 17 years old from Usakos, he took the courage, whether he came back home or he was there home, He took the courage and he murdered, he killed 6 members of his family in the house. 6 members of his family. And those 6 members of the family includes his grandma and his twin sister. Then after he has killed them, he said, it's not enough. I will burn them now. He put them under mattresses, put on fire. Because having killed them, it was not enough. He must kill them more. But how can you kill one more while the person already dead? Grandma, twin sister, 17 years old. Ask yourself, was he up his mind? Possible one would conclude and say, no, he was not. I think something went wrong. His mind was derailed from something. To the extent that he doesn't even see, he doesn't recognize who you were. Imagine further, because he was arrested, he's still in jail. Imagine now. Let him be released tomorrow. Is that the time when he starts mourning now? Or is it mourning while in jail, while he's the one who killed all those 6 members of that family? Drop him now at what was known as his place. What's that? Even in jail, what's that he's thinking now? A young boy of 17. That's Namibian. That's the society which we call is ours. It's bad. For the lack of better words. It's bad. It's unheard of. This is a good example that I want you all to listen, particularly my young people, my boys and the girls. On the 17th of May this year, 17th May of this year, one young boy, those of you who are 16, stand up. Stand up, 16. Even the girls included, everybody who is 16. You are all what now? Okay, sit down, my people. Why I made them to stand? 16-year-old children. They can also make a positive impact in life. They can make a positive impact on life. The other one has made a negative impact on life, but 16-year-old, somebody can make impact in life. On certain region, on the 17 May, a boy of 16 was heading cattle. Very interesting. There comes a lady with the twins, 9 months twins. One at the back, one in the front. Then that boy, I don't know how it clicks his mind. Something came into his mind and said, something must be wrong with this meme. He started to ask. The lady was just going. But the boy continued with that interest. There's something must be wrong. There's something must be wrong. How? Don't ask me, because I was never there and I was never told what made him to click that his mind. The lady came at a water pond. He pulled one baby, 9 months, in the water. Then I think the boy said, see what I told myself, that something must be wrong with this meme. Then the boy came quickly, he grabs that baby, he put him he took him from the pond, because he was now, one would say, about to getting drowned. As he was bringing this from the pond, the other one has gone again. That boy dropped this one and went back to get that other twin out. As I'm speaking to you now, all these children, they are still alive. Who made them to be alive? Is that 16-year-old boy. He was finally asked, do you know how to swim? I don't know how to swim. What if they could have succumbed in water to die? Simply said, I could have died with them. That's the message I want to put across. For all of us, some of us, we are matured enough, but we cannot read people's mind and say something must be wrong with Shutifonya here. And that young boy was able to read the mind of somebody, possibly whom he doesn't know. And today, those children are still alive. Soon after it happened, it reached the ears of the president of the country. He declared that boy a hero, national hero, because he has done something not possible all of us who are here, including me, could have done. And that is what qualifies somebody to be a hero. You did something of others could not have done. Watch out. On the 26th of August, you will find that boy is given his medals of a hero. Who will argue about that? Who will argue about that? And they said this is not qualified. To be a hero, you must do something what others could not have done. We have been soldiers for how many years? But we might not be necessarily heroes. That was just a calling for us to have the country independent. I'm trying to bring this out so that we strike a balance as young people, and of course, all of us to say, where do you stand? Do you stand there as a killer? Or do you want to stand as a hero? Of course, you don't want to say, I'm doing this because I want to be a hero. You will be recognized of what you did. You don't need to claim. Like in most cases in this country now, there are so many claims. There's so many claims. The moment you have seen this ex-combatant is buried as a hero, but ours is so dead, but why is not recognized as a hero? It makes a difference. Don't claim to be a hero. People must see who is a hero, and those people must see what you are done. I will now come to the conclusion. I want our children as you are part of those who are filled up with this space, I want you to get prepared to be good citizens. I want you to grow as people responsible. The responsibility started with yourself. I want you to grow as people who are respected in the society. By respecting even for yourself. On the part of parents, let us qualify ourselves to be parents. You might not need anybody to qualify you as a parent. Qualify yourself as a parent with what you are doing. As we are sitting here, some of us, we are fathers. Some of us sitting here, we are mothers. But not all fathers who are daddies. Not all mothers who are moms. It makes a difference. She can give a birth to a baby, throw it in the dustbin. Do you call that a mother? I mean, a mom? She's just a mother because she gave a birth to somebody. Can you qualify yourself to be a dad while you don't provide what a dad can do? Good enough. I'm both a father and a dad. I'm both a dad and both a father and a dad because I know what it means and I know what I've done to my family. Let us all stand up and declare our own positions where we belong as a society if we have to move forward. This space is big, is filled up, but the majority are still out there. Let us carry the message to those who never had the chance to be under this roof. You must not have filled up this space and taken up much of the oxygen for no good reasons. It must be for good reasons. I was not trying to make you understand. I was just trying to say what I wanted to say. Honorable Governor, thanks so much.
Let's give him another round of applause as we can kindly take our seats. That is the mighty and the great message, the great keynote address from His Excellency. Now that we heard what we came for, allow me, Your Excellency, to diffuse a little bit by then inviting. This time we need to be very stingy now with time. The next group that is going to perform, Kurenkuru Combined School, I want you to do only one item. Kurenkuru Combined, I want you to do only one item before we move to the questions and answer session. Kurenkuru Combined, I see Mr. Kaveto. Kurenkuru Combined, are we ready? Kurenkuru Combined School. If we are not ready, we can quickly then save time and move to questions and answer session. I would like to request our Senior Public Relation Officer and the team from the ICT to assist us kindly with a roaming mic so that we then take questions from the audience. By show of hands, so that we give you the opportunity. There's a roaming mic. The audience, any question from the audience? By show of hand. There's 1, 2. Okay, the 2 hands, the 3. Just take your number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any other hand? 7. Any other hand? 8, 9, 10. Can we then agree those are the hands that we are taking? And I want you to go straight to your point. For now, I can allow you to skip the salutations.
Good afternoon, everyone. Now that we were restricted to go to straight to our points, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this because I have a lot of questions written down. So I'm going to start with my first question. So in cases of where the first gentleman said that a 17-year-old did a negative impact on the country, whereby he murdered 6 people. Now, if that was a case of not being groomed up properly in a Namibian homestead, how can the boy child's love and emotional conscience be brought back? If if I can elaborate more, what if anger made him do that? What if he was groomed in a society where trauma had to drag him to such extents? My next question is, how does the government go about finding boy childs that are in need of help? Then comes to my next, which is, how many sessions has the region Kavango West had with schools this year regarding motivational speeches and following up on boy childs amongst the schools in the region? Then I move to the statement where the regional director, Mr. Pontianus Musore, said that normally you find that there are a lot of children in schools when there is food. So that can be a reason whereby him again, Mr. Pontianus Musore, said that there might not be food at home, and the only place where the children are being catered for is at school. So what measures have been put up by the government to help such people? Moving on to the session that the first gentleman had, which leads me to my first statement, which is some dropouts for the boy child are due to lack of leadership and mentoring. Because nowadays we have this motive that for you to be called someone, you have to be either be enrolled at IUM, UNAM, NAST, NIT, and we forget where the country is going to, which is blue collar, as the VTC, as you can see. So if the dropouts can be groomed in a way whereby instead of them focusing only on theory, they can be dragged into the vocational pipeline where they can make something of themselves, whereby the first gentleman said that there is a youth fund that was brought up. If someone has or someone knows how to use their hands, they can also qualify for the youth funds. And then just something to say to my fellow.
I want you to then also sum up so that
Yeah,
you
I'm
give a
summing
chance
up.
to-
I'm summing up. Just something to my fellow leaders of the region. Not fellow, I mean the leaders of the region. The government wants to help us, but if the government doesn't see where to aid, where to help us, if the problems are not being brought up, that's why I said earlier the procedures on how to help the boys, they are not gonna help us in any way. And as the president said, your child will be the result of your own doing. So we should groom children in a way that we want them to grow up. Not as the president said, you neglect them at the end of the day, they are going to do things that you do not want them to do as the result of your own doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was the icebreaker. I want the ones that are coming to strictly have one question.
Thank you for the
Pick up the most critical one from your list.
Okay, leader. Thank you for the opportunity granted. Since we're restricted not to do the salutations, I will just go straight to the question that I have. Basically, we have many fathers and mentors in Kavango West willing to step up, but we lack the resources, materials, and structures to sustain youth mentorship clubs. Will there be any grant frameworks, training, or resources packages made available to community leaders who want to run these boy-child programs locally? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Number 3.
Thank you for the opportunity. So my question is on the side of the poor parenting. So in our society today, we have a narrative which says, if you touch a child, and you will find yourself behind the bars as a parent, whether you are a mother or the father. So my question is, what is the minister has to say on this today? Thank you.
Number 4. Can I data ban also waste number 5? Okay, since you are within the same vicinity. 5, 6.
Thank you. I just have one question. Since we have a lot of dropouts this year that was recorded, my question goes to the Director of Education. What way are they going to make sure, or what way are they going to make sure that these kids stay in school? Because for so many years, people have been dropping out of school. There's no way they are not reaching out to the people. They are not reaching out to the parents or the people in the inlands who still treat, especially a male child, that he needs to be a provider. If there's no father, he needs to be a provider. So what is the way are they going to take? What ways are they going to take to make sure that the number decreases?
Yes, just behind you.
Thank you. My question has been asked already, but I just wanted to clarify it a bit. On the issue of youth receiving opportunities to empower themselves. If we concentrate only on the youth who had the opportunity to go to school, where do we leave the youth who never had the opportunity to go to schools? Not because they did not want to, but because they had no opportunity to go to school. Because some of this youth has talents, some of this youth could be trained to do manual labors and other labors which are in industries or maybe factories to produce items that can still add the value to the GDP of the country. Because we cannot continue to see trucks lining up 5, 6, or 7 going to South Africa simply to go and collect knickknacks. which we can even produce here. I rest my case.
Next to you. Thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. This question is directed to the director and the minister. Under the challenges causing dropouts, to name a few, parents' preference over household duties, parents' preference over household duties instead of education and physical and emotional abuse. What protocols or so to say, what strategies are in place to counteract such challenges?
Thank you. The number 7. Can I also have number 8?
It's number 7.
9.
7.
7 and 8, they are next to one another. 9. Can I see where 9 is?
Should I speak? A wonderful good afternoon to my respective leaders. My main concern is the safety of most of our students here in the place, because mostly we have cases that students are being found at the river and all that. Have the councillors and mayors thought about our safety? Because sometimes we have classes still late, and we have that fear of something might happen to us. Have the leaders concerned about the safety of about students and the learners? Thank you.
Thank you. Can pass on to your neighbor.
Thank you so much. My question goes like this. I heard about the universities. I heard there is government have subsidized for the students who are starting from this year going onward. So we, for example, for me, I stay in Kavango, then my course is in Windhoek, for example. So where am I going to stay? Like the hostels also are subsidized, or I need to, yeah, I just want to hear.
Thank you. Okay, can we then come? I see number 9 is sorted. Can we come to the war veteran here?
Yeah, Lord, thank you very much. Now you are going to listen in the broken English. Yeah. Our commander, Lieutenant General, Epaphrod Ndeitua. Yeah, when you call us to stand there, truly nearly to cry. Because of what? This program is supposed to be there at the back there, 1990s. Yeah, because these people, a lot of them, they left, a lot of our comrades, we left them there in Angola. Yeah, now those are rich the country, like the way they sitting down here. They are still poor, landless, poor, and so on. Yeah. Now, we don't know how can we request the government to bring these people on the good level, because they are truly, yeah, only if you understand it, it is better then to take those yeah.
You can also speak in Rukwangari. I will help translate.
Yeah. Yeah, asi sinike kwa Karangesi, ashe zi programme zi apana zinye kwina komeho kwina twazi no akwe tukwina kuharakulira apa nkuro na komanda kwetu anazimota faturura morwa sinke tani harere kulira morwa kuzikasi tani kazara ni wakuti oh.
Sorry, it's new. It's new to him.
Yeah.
It was not in exile, those things.
Yaro.
Yeah.
Ya morwa sinke sa kuhambara siri lisenge. Morwa omwana faturura komanda kwetu yasi abantu aba kwa lizamberere no mwenyo dawo ipo Namibia lili mangurukeli. Namibia ntantani ngesi kusanse kasi lya manguruka. Elia manguruka yengesi Namibia li kusanse kasi abana kuhafa baba tukwa babakara bahana kukakwata mautangwendi mumubakara abantu aba. Anwa abantu aba dogorone ni inangesi kwa kulira bakulira morwa ruhepo anunga no kwa sininkire nye programme zingano kwa kuzigaza tupanga kwa ninkire kwina kono 90s pamungano bana bataranya saye abantu bakahepere ngesi balizambere no mwenyo dawo tuwarugane niko ngesi imongoso nasi harere pandu.
Can we assist there with the mic? I believe we have exhausted the 10 hands. I gave an opportunity at the beginning to show hands, and those were the 10 hands. With your permission, Your Excellency, if we can then attend to the matters raised. But before that, maybe let me just summarize the last input. Let me just summarize the last input from the war veteran or the ex-combatant. His input is just to indicate to Your Excellency that when you invited them to stand before everybody here in this venue, he was moved. And it broke him. It almost broke him. That he felt this program should have taken place earlier years in the 1990s. Because what they have noted when they stood here as a group of ex-combatants, he has noted that they are not the one rejoicing and enjoying. Because the only people that are benefiting and rejoicing in the latest programs are the young ones who have never gone abroad or the non-ex-combatants. And if you look at them and see them as they are seated, they look poor, that they don't own anything. When he was speaking in that English, he also just indicated anything, including land, that they even don't have piece of land. That he could have wished that this program took place long time ago, so that they could have rejoiced. But now, as it stands, this program is only being enjoyed and being rejoiced by those that have not gone abroad. In summary, that is the input. If I may now, with the guidance of the Honorable Governor, Honorable Minister, to see how those matters raised will be tackled. Yes, we'll get those possible answers as prepared.
Thank you very much, CRO. Your Excellency, acknowledging the high table once again. With your permission, I would like to respond to the questions that were asked especially the ones pertaining to issues of parenting, the ones pertaining to issues of youth empowerment, and the ones pertaining to the welfare of the children. First, there was a question on the boy child that needs help. What is it that we are doing? In addition to these initiatives that His Excellency, the First Gentleman of the Republic of Namibia is conducting, I also want to indicate to the audience that it's, especially when it comes to life skills teachers in schools, these are also the people or the frontline workers that we are training. I referred to the parental care handbook. I referred to the issues of identifying violence against children. The life skills teachers are equipped to ensure that we provide that service to the boy child and also the girl child. So this is the services that we are rendering. In addition, the Ministry of Gender Equality and Child Welfare have social workers across the countries, almost in constituencies, we also have social workers. So please do not hesitate to reach out to the social workers. Your Excellency, I want to respond to the question that we asked in terms of what is the government doing towards the youth who want to pursue the blue collar. I think it came from that side. If you have listened carefully, when the First Gentleman was talking of the subsidized tertiary education that was rolled out this year, it means it's not limited to IUM, to UNAM, to NAST, to Velvicia, no. It is right up to the VTCs. So with other words, government is providing funds to ensure that if you want to pursue a career in a vocational subjects or in the vocational area, government will take care of your funds. And even when you finish the National Youth Development Fund that was capitalized this year with 257 million is one of those initiatives that can help you to fund you so that you can start your own business. The Office of the Governor are hard at work. They are empowered to ensure that they facilitate that application because we don't want to centralize this form of support. As I talk about the VTC, I think there was also a question in terms of some people are just gifted with hands. What do we do with those ones? We don't only look at the youth who are graduates at tertiary. Now, you may be aware that the 8th administration have identified 7 priorities. We know those 7 priorities. Number 1 is agriculture, sport, youth empowerment, creative industry, and then quality education, quality health, and so on. Of those 7 areas, 4 are all for youth. Youth empowerment is where we have the funds. And within the Ministry of Youth, and I'm talking because I was a former deputy minister in that ministry, and I like explaining this because in the ministry, we used to say that we are duplicating efforts, especially when it comes to training. There is what we call basic skills training. Now, this basic skills training happens at every youth center across the country. Why do we have this one? It's for the youth that we know have not completed school for one reason or the other. We do not want them to fall in the cracks, but you are provided with a basic skill, whether it's welding, tailoring, bookkeeping, agriculture, so that you are able to increase your chances to be employed, or you are able to be equipped with the skill to employ yourself. Now, coupled to these skills development initiatives that the Ministry of Youth has, is what we call a youth credit scheme. It's unfortunate, Honorable Governor, that your councillor is not here, the one for Kapako, because he used to be our youth forum chairperson. We run, as a ministry, the Ministry of Youth have youth credit scheme. This scheme is also for those trainees who graduate from the basic skills so that we have a seed capital for you to start your own business. And these are some of the initiatives that the ministry that's responsible for youth is entrusted with, and they are running it well. All we need to do is let's make use of these opportunities. Go to your youth center and ask for this information. Your Excellency, I just want to conclude. There was a question on children that nowadays you cannot, They call it beat a child, but you cannot discipline a child because we know that we have the Child Care and Protection Act of 2019 that came in effect 2019, but still, that's why we are saying the parents need to provide their parental guidance. You do not necessarily need to use physical form. There's many forms that you can use to ensure that a child is disciplined. When His Excellency was addressing us, he kept on referring to discipline, discipline, discipline. Now, in addition, if you realize that there is abuse in the house, child abuse, there's violence in the house, please, there are a lot of avenues that you can report these cases. That's why I'm wearing this orange ribbon today, because it says, be wise, stay safe, report any type of child abuse. Toll-free number, 116 or 106. Toll-free, you don't need credit. Please do call this number, but don't use it now to threaten your parents. Someone was apparently saying, touch me. I'll just call 116. No. Don't use it. Use it for the correct reasons. It's a toll-free number. It will lead you to the necessary social workers. We have Child Care and Lifeline organization that assist us to answer some of these questions. Your Excellency, in terms of the very good question that was asked, that if my course is in Windhoek, where am I going to stay if the education is subsidized? Now, with this subsidized tertiary initiative, what it has is we have different categories. If your parents are in a certain income threshold, you then qualify for what we call non-tuition fees, of which accommodation falls part of. So we have, as a government, as your caring government, we have considered all these factors because ours is to ensure that the youth are empowered, the youth have access to education. Therefore, your accommodation will then be taken care of. Your Excellency, thank you very much for the permission to reflect on some of the questions that were asked. I think the rest then my colleagues will touch on, especially the one for the safety of students for the governor and the one pertaining to the school. The director is making all the notes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. I see almost all the questions were summed up. I'm just trying to look in the faces. Yes. What is also important is that I see our Honorable Minister has tried to sum most of those questions and issues raised. What we can as well do, I see the colleagues that are assisting the office of His Excellency are taking some of these notes already. If you see the colleagues that, those of you that have asked or raised these matters here, you were already consulted. That is how important your matters or our matters are being taken note of.
Thank you so much, Director of the program, and thank you for those good questions. I will touch on 2 or 3 of the questions. The first one is the issue of motivation for our young people, particularly those that are in school. As it was rightly pointed out by the Honorable Minister, we have life skill teachers in our schools. Their responsibility, one of them, I see him sitting right in front of me, Mr. Kaveto. Their responsibility is to address these challenges that our young people are facing. Now, as a directorate, we also have circuit-based programs where we come in a circuit, bring learners to one central place, and engage them on these challenges. We have also partners that we are partnering with. We have what we call Regional School Health Task Force. At times we are joined by students from UNAM and also IUM and many other institutions where we go in schools, let the learners hear from the young people, their fellow young people. So those are the programs that we are doing. From the Office of the Governor, I've received an instruction to organize schools in such a way that the Honorable Governor is coming to our schools to address our learners on various challenges that we are facing. That program is also coming. The other question is, what are the procedures or what programs do we have in place to accommodate learners who drop out so that they come back to school? We have various programs as well. For the girls, we have FAWENA. I believe many girls are aware of that, isn't it? They even offer sponsorship. They provide for the needs of young mothers that are in our schools, or to attract them back to schools so that they can pursue their dreams and aspirations. The issue of safety of our learners, we know very well. I remember vividly in one of the schools, the call that I got from the school principal, the parent was insisting that this child must marry. Unfortunately, get married to a man, an adult man. So we came in, our team came in to intervene. And this man was eventually arrested also, together with the parent of this child. We have those cases. That is just one example that we dealt with. We are not enjoying it, but we have that responsibility. The Act provides that responsibility to us as officials to ensure that once those cases come, we need to hand them over to the colleagues that are responsible. We work with our social workers, as they were already mentioned, but also with the police to assist us. One thing that we are contemplating also putting in place is the issue of dropout. Some of the dropout comes as a result of us as parents not doing the correct thing. You know, children that are under the age of 16, by law, they must be in school. Are we together? If your child is 16 and you are sitting with a child at home, you must know that you are violating the law. And when you are violating the law, we know what is next, isn't it? The law enforcement might come in to deal with such parents. I believe those were the questions that were directed to us that I wanted to add on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Msore, and of course, Your Excellency. I see on our social pages, there are a lot of people that are following this program who are seated at various platforms or various places, who are also making their contributions to the team. I would want to link you with our public relations office so that you also get those comments just for feedback purposes. And I take note that our local radio, Radio Wato, they are also available. And they would want to have one or two small session. Honorable Minister, you are their target. They would want to, Mr. Amtenya, if you can also just share those questions from Radio Wato with the Honorable Minister, Honorable Governor, Honorable Chairperson, they would want few words from you for our local communities who are following through the local radios to get the information. With that said, I see, colleagues, there's this old saying that is very popular, that Rome was not built over a night. And I know we have lot of inputs that would want to hand over or pass on during this engagement. But if we see and look at our time, it's 24 minutes to 5. And I see, especially our learners, some of you woke up very early and you wrote exams today, and I hope and wish that you all have passed as always, that we need to allow you to also go and prepare, continue to prepare for the exams. Your Excellency, with your permission, if we can then come back to our program to continue as is, that I now invite our Honorable Chairperson to come and give us the vote of thanks. Honorable Chairperson, can we give him a round of applause, please?
Thank you very much, Director of Proceedings, Mr. Mateus Singambwe, for giving me this opportunity to move a vote of thanks in this very important engagement. Your Excellency, Lieutenant General, retired Epaphras Denga Ndaitwa, First Gentleman of the Republic of Namibia, Honorable Dr. Emma Kantema, Minister of Gender Equality and Child Welfare, Honorable Verna Sinimbo, Governor of Kavango West Region. So with your permission, Director of Proceedings, allow me to stand by the protocol as it was laid down by you. So good afternoon. As we come to the close of this memorable and inspiring engagement, I wish to express on behalf of Kavango West Regional Council and the people of our region, our heartfelt gratitude to the First Gentleman, Lieutenant General Retired Epaphras Denga Ndaitwa, for honoring us with your presence and for sharing words of wisdom, encouragement, and hope with young boys. Today's engagement has reminded us that empowering the boy child is not merely an event, it is a shared responsibility. The guidance and values imparted today will only bear fruits if they are reinforced in our homes, in our schools, our churches, and in our communities. Let us therefore remain united in mentoring our boys to become disciplined, respectful, responsible, and productive citizens. To our young boys, I encourage you to carry today's message with pride and determination. Let it inspire you to make wise choices, pursue your education with dedication, respect your parents and teachers, and strive to become leaders who will make Kavango West and Namibia proud. I also extend our sincere appreciation to the Office of the First Gentleman, the Office of the Governor, all government institutions, traditional authorities, development partners, educators, parents, and everyone who worked tirelessly to make this engagement a success. Your collective efforts demonstrate what we can achieve when invest in our young people. As we leave this venue, let us not leave behind the message we have received today. Let it guide our actions and strengthen our commitment to building a generation of young men of integrity, purpose, and excellence. With those few words, I wish you all safe travels and God's abundant blessings. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, Honorable Chairperson. We also appreciate you for thanking us. I would want to make the following announcements. When His Excellency and his delegation leave this venue, particularly our important and very important guests, all of us in this venue, if we may kindly remain where we are, after we have escorted them, because we'll all stand to allow them to move from this venue, we'll remain where we are. We have, or the event organizers have prepared small appreciation that we'll receive wherever we are hosted this day. Then that is the announcement to all of us. We will have our anthems. After our anthems, please remain standing where you are to allow the First Gentleman and the team or the delegation to leave the venue. Then we will follow after. But before the anthems, I'll still request Honorable Katura to come and give us the closing prayer before the anthems. As we always do it, we may all kindly rise, and then we have the closing prayer and the anthems follows.
Let's pray. Lord the Father, we thank you that we have been blessed. Thank you that the engagement went into a very good spirit. We thank you, dear Lord, you Heavenly Father, your Spirit, the blessing has been observed. Bless all those whose blood waters our freedom. Bless us all to remain united, since united we stand and divided we fall. We pray for us to remain committed, dedicated towards our duties and responsibilities. Dear Lord, we pray to bless all the political leaders, all the educational leaders, all the traditional leaders, as well as the church leaders. Bless the Namibian children. Bless all our men and women in uniforms. We pray for the blessing to bless further our guests of honor to reach their destinations. Open the eyes of all the drivers to avoid road accidents. May the grace of our lovely Lord be with us for now and forevermore. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. In Jesus' name I prayed. Amen.
Let us all unite and celebrate together the victories won for our liberation. Let us dedicate ourselves to rise together to defend our liberty and unity. O sons and daughters of Africa, flesh of the sun and flesh of the sky, let us make Africa the tree of life. Namibia, land of the brave freedom fight, we have won. Glory to their bravery, whose blood waters our freedom. We give our love and loyalty, together in unity. Contrasting beautiful Namibia, Namibia, our country. Beloved land of savannas, hold high the banner of liberty. Namibia, our country. Namibia, motherland, we love thee.
Thank you. We may remain standing while the colleagues are assisting the first gentleman to leave. And I have also received, Your Excellency, I have received the request